Okay, so Hamza wants to know about food poisoning today, so we'll talk about food poisoning then. Okay, so there's lots of different ways in which you can classify food poisoning. Okay, you can either classify it by the causative organism, you could classify, so you could say it's a bacterial, a viral, a parasitic, or you could classify, or more, what I think is a more useful way is to classify it by into a foregut, a midgut, and a hindgut infection. Okay, so broadly speaking, Hamza, foregut infections, they affect your stomach. Midgut is from your stomach down to your large bowel, and hindgut is your large bowel downwards. Okay, so if you were looking at me, it would be down to like here, and then blows round about. So with the pain that you'd get, for example, with the foregut, you get most of the pain up at the top. Okay, with the midgut infection, you get most of the pain around your belly button, and with a hindgut infection, where do you think you get most of the pain? Below your belly button. Very good. Okay, so uh, so that's the pain. Okay, then what about symptoms then? So with a foregut infection, you get loads of vomiting and no real diarrhea. Midgut, you get a bit of vomiting, bit of diarrhea. Hindgut, you get no vomiting, loads of diarrhea. Okay, the diarrhea is important, or the vomiting is important, because it's the way in which your body gets rid of uh, the bad organism. Okay, so the foregut infections normally it's something you've eaten in the preceding 4 to 8, 10 hours. Okay, midgut infection something you've eaten about 10 to 18, 20 hours before. Hindgut infection is something you've eaten more than 24 hours ago. Okay, usually the reason why the foregut infections give you vomiting very very quickly is because it's the wall of the organism which causes a problem. So the wall itself comes into contact with your stomach lining, and that then makes your stomach lining react, and that then makes you vomit. Okay. With the midgut and the hindgut ones, it's not the actual wall of the organism that causes the problem, but the organism makes something, some sort of toxin, and it's that toxin that then causes those symptoms. Okay. So treatment then. So the treatment basically is you just keep up with the fluid loss. So if you're vomiting lots or you've got lots of diarrhea, then you just got to replace that fluid. Okay, if you're vomiting lots, then there's a lot of potassium that you're losing there. Also, and you can replace that. So if you have something like diarrhea, for example, they have in it sodium and potassium. You've got to be careful about the sodium content. If you have too much sodium, then in the old days, if you took an overdose, they'd give you salt water and that'd make you vomit. So if you put too much sodium in the fluid that you're giving the patient, then it's just going to make them vomit. So you've got to be a little bit careful about what you give. Um, and diet wise, so fluid replacement number one. We'll come back to that in a second. And the second is diet. So what you need to do basically is just to avoid all dairy products. Okay, so no yogurts, no cheeses, no milks. Instead, what you want to have is carbohydrates instead. So things like digestive biscuits are quite good. Beans on toast is good, but no butter on the toast. Pasta's good, but no cheesy sauces. Jacket potatoes are excellent, but again, no butter on the jacket potatoes. Okay, or cheese. Yeah, very good. Okay, so and the same goes with a midgut or a hindgut. Essentially, again, you just want to avoid avoid the dairy products to start with. With a foregut infection, you also want to avoid citric fruits, so apples, oranges, grapefruits, okay, because they're all quite acidic, and your stomach's a bit raw because of the toxin. Sorry, because of the wall of the organism in the first place. So if you had that stuff, that would just upset your tummy even more. So the best stuff to have is water. If you want something with a bit of taste in, then get some dilute stuff. The other stuff that's really good to have is things like if you really want to have Coke or you really want to have lemonade, then go for it. But the problem with it is the bubbles, because the bubbles will make your stomach expand a bit. Your stomach's already super sensitive now, so if you stretch it a bit, it's going to make you feel nauseous. So let it go flat first. So just pour it into a glass, wait for the bubbles to go, then drink it. The nice thing about that is now you're getting a fluid which has got some sugar in, and if you can't keep any food down, then a bit of food with a bit of fluid with some sugar in will replace some of that energy that you're losing. Okay. Next thing is it's going to last for a few days. Okay, the diarrhea itself will probably last for about 2 weeks if you've got it. And when I say 2 weeks, I don't mean it's going to be really, really horrible throughout. But in the second week, you're going to be gradually firming back up and getting back to normal. Okay, but it's really the first 3, 4, 5 days that are really going to cause the major problem. What you want to look for is blood in your stool, or a rash, or very high temperatures and shivering. Okay, So if you're getting high temperatures, shivering, and you've got blood in your stool, or you develop a rash, then you need to let someone know. Okay? Okay, so that's food poisoning in a nutshell.
Bye.
Bye.